Corpus Christi is facing a historic drought. We'll tell you how city leaders plan to handle water cutbacks for residents and big industry. And a top leader at a local water authority is accusing his boss of misleading the public. We'll tell you how the executive director is responding to the claims.
I'm Joe St. George of the Supreme Court. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court is hearing oral arguments in a case that could alter birthright citizenship in the U.S. So what would happen if that happens? We go in depth next.
Well, good morning, and we thank you for joining us. I'm Drew Bishop. We have plenty of neighborhood news to get to this morning. Brian and Michelle Hoffman off. I'm filling in, but we have meteorologist Stephen Jones who's standing by with a look at your roadways before you head out the door this morning. Stephen, good to have you here. Let's take a look at what's going on out there.
Well, good morning, Drew. Good morning, Coastal Bend. You know, we're looking pretty good as we're waking up for our Wednesday and kicking off the new month of April, of course. Still in that rinse and repeat pattern, though, right now. We're waking up fairly warm out there to the lower 70s. As we're looking at SPID, you can see not tracking any major slowdowns, luckily, but a few more cars picking up on that roadway so far. Temperatures in Kingsville holding on to 74 degrees right now, also 74 in Rockport as of right now, 72 what you're waking up to in Beeville, and that's the same for Alice, with the cool spot being Hebbronville at 71 degrees. As we're rolling through the rest of our Wednesday, we'll be back on the warm-ups. Should see more of that clearing as we're heading in towards the later morning hours and especially into the afternoon. Going to be another breezy one for us. Winds out of the southeast 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusting 30 to 35 miles per hour at times, so something you're likely going to notice on that commute back home. But as we're getting ready to head out the door this morning, here's how that traffic is flowing along the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland. We're not tracking any slowdowns. You're looking good there on that commute. For our major roadways here in Corpus Christi, also looking pretty good on Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga. Just a minor slowdown, it looks like, as you're coming in towards downtown on Ocean Drive. But other than that, we're looking good and green here in Corpus Christi. So let's take a detour off to the north. Good morning in Beeville there. Also looking pretty good and green this morning. So let's take a look at just one other neighborhood over towards Kingsville. Also not tracking any of those major slowdowns. So really for the entire Coastal Bend, we're looking good and green. We do have some good rain chances on the way, though, as we're heading in towards our Easter Sunday. I'll have more details on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, thank you, Stephen. We're looking forward to that. But first, Corpus Christi city leaders are giving us a first look at potential water cutbacks. The city's projections say we could enter a level 1 water emergency as early as this May. That's next month, folks. During yesterday's workshop, leaders praised residents for reducing their water use, but council members asked tough questions about heavy industrial users. They pointed out that industry gets a drought exemption rate not offered to residents. City Council is expected to vote on water surcharges in mid to late April. And a top leader at the Nueces River Authority is accusing his boss of misleading the public. Chief Operating Officer Travis Pruski sent a letter to the board with his concerns. He claims Executive Director John Byram presented false water sales numbers. Those numbers are for the planned Harbor Island desalination plant. Pruski also says Byram put a $30 million flood grant at risk through repeated delays. And in a statement to Chris 6 News, Byram says the agency is aware of the concerns, and he adds they cannot comment on specific details because it's a personnel matter. The agency's executive committee will now meet to decide how to handle the situation.
For years, President Donald Trump has talked about ending birthright citizenship, the policy that's existed in the U.S. since the 1860s that says if you're born in the United States, you're a citizen. But on Wednesday, the Supreme Court is hearing oral arguments in a case that could change that policy forever. So now the question is, if that happens, what would happen?
This is what democracy looks like.
It's a political fight years in the making, and while a decision on birthright citizenship from the Supreme Court won't likely take place for several months, oral arguments on Wednesday are raising the possibility of what might happen if President Donald Trump gets what he wants from the Supreme Court. As a reminder, the 14th Amendment says all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. The Trump administration believes that is being interpreted incorrectly. A brief to the court filed in March claims the main object of the Citizenship Clause was to grant citizenship to freed slaves and their children. If parts of the 14th Amendment are soon interpreted differently because of a Supreme Court opinion, experts say the biggest impact will be a larger group of immigrants residing in the country without American citizenship. According to the Migration Policy Institute and Penn State's Population Research Institute, the unauthorized population would increase by 2.7 million by 2045 in the U.S., impacting healthcare and job opportunities. The end of birthright citizenship for many children would create a self-perpetuating, multi-generational underclass, the think tank writes. For President Trump and many of his supporters, however, changing the interpretation of the 14th Amendment would eliminate what's known as birth tourism. That is, pregnant mothers traveling to give birth on U.S. soil. Estimates range widely from 9,000 to 33,000 such births taking place each year. One of the biggest impacts of this potential ruling would be on education, where teachers' unions are warning the loss of American citizenship would mean fewer financial aid opportunities. Some states in recent years have even considered bans on non-Americans from attending public schools. A 2025 Pew Research poll found the country split over the question of birthright citizenship for the children of parents who immigrated illegally. 49% saying they should not be citizens, 50% saying they should. Joe St. George, Scripps News Group, Washington.
Well, hey there and happy Wednesday, Coastal Bend. Taking a look at this Coastal Bend Weather Watchers photo. Thank you to JB Landreth for sending this one in. Up there from B County, said praying for rain, looking pretty dry in the ground there, and that's for most of our soils across the area, but you can see those clouds overhead, more of that moisture funneling into our atmosphere pretty much each and every day. We're just priming it as we're heading into the weekend for that cold front on the way, and hopefully you send in your Coastal Bend Weather Watchers photos to that group. If you're not already a member though, you'll definitely see some more good shots like that one. As we're kicking off our Wednesday morning, here's a live view from Snoopy's Pier Sky Cam thanks to Matthew CCAC. Also a good amount of cloud cover overhead, 73 degrees what we're waking up to, and also the big bright moon up there in the sky. We're getting ready for that full pink moon tonight. Should reach its full peakness as we're heading in towards 9:12 p.m. As we're looking at those temperatures out there, still holding on to 69 degrees in for you right now, 72 what you're waking up to in San Diego. Valfurious coming in at 73 degrees and not too much different across the coast. 74 in Rockport with that 73 degree mark in Port Aransas so far. As we're checking out the dog walking forecast today, we've got Lily on the board right here from Nueces County. Says she likes to go anywhere for those walks around the neighborhood on the south side, and it's looking like a good day for it. As we're heading through the morning hours, 75 by 9 a.m., 81 by 11 a.m., and only on the warm up as we're heading into the afternoon hours. Also going to see that breeze picking up 10 to 15 miles an hour this morning, 20 to 25 miles an hour as we're heading in towards the afternoon. For our daytime highs, they're still pretty similar to where we've been all week, although another degree or two up the board. 87 here in Corpus Christi, chasing 82 for your daytime high in Sinton, although if you find yourself out west, George West chasing 91 degrees for your chasing that 94 degree mark for your daytime high. Now through the next few days, we're still on the rinse and repeat pattern, really all the way through Saturday. We're going to stay pretty warm out there, but by Saturday night into Sunday, we see that massive drop in temperatures. That's all thanks to the cold front on the way. It's not only going to drop temperatures, it's looking more and more promising with each passing day that we're going to see some rain with this system as it passes through. The next few days, I'm definitely thinking you're likely going to stay dry, even though we do have just an isolated chance for a pop-up shower or two. By the weekend, I think is where more of us get a good dose of that rainfall across the region. Rainfall estimates even going as high as an inch right now across most of our region. Now, that is still a little aggressive in my opinion, but I think it gets the message across that we could look at a good half an inch to 3/4 of an inch coming down as we go through this weekend. Now, it's all shaping up on the 7-day forecast right now. 87 today, 86 through the next couple of days. And then as we go into the weekend, that's where we see the shift from Saturday into Sunday. 87 down to 69 degrees for that daytime high Sunday. Holding on to a lot of rain there by the Easter Sunday, so keep in mind maybe those indoor egg hunts if you can. As we're rolling into next week to kick off that first full week of April, we're still looking cool in the lower 70s and only 75 degrees by Tuesday.
A federal judge pumping the brakes on a massive new White House ballroom. Coming up on Sunrise, we'll explain why the Trump administration is fighting back. Welcome back to Chris 6 Sunrise. Well, Corpus Christi is remembering a local legend today. Ronnie Pointy Boots Mathis died last month after a battle with prostate cancer, and his visitation is scheduled for 5 o'clock tonight at Maxwell P. Dunn Funeral Home. His service is tomorrow morning at 11 at Calvary Baptist Church. A burial with full military honors will follow at the Coastal Bend State Veterans Cemetery. Attendees are encouraged to wear yellow in his honor. And a memorial ride is also planned to honor the Corpus Christi legend. It'll take place this Saturday, April 4th at Water's Edge Park. Participants will meet at 4 in the afternoon and the ride officially begins at 4:30. Several local groups are organizing the event, including Los Homies Bike Crew and the Big Bertha Foundation. Organizers are asking everyone to ride in honor, style, and respect. Well, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says Army pilots who flew over Kid Rock's home are no longer suspended. He also says the incident is not being investigated. This reverses an earlier statement from the Army, who previously said the crews were suspended pending an investigation. Kid Rock posted 2 videos of the flyby on X over the weekend. One video shows an Apache helicopter hovering near his Nashville swimming pool, and the crews are based out of Fort Campbell in Kentucky. Now, the Trump administration says it will appeal a judge's ruling ordering the halt of construction on a new White House ballroom. The judge, an appointee of former President George W. Bush, is delaying implementation for his ruling for 2 weeks to allow for the appeal. Reed Binion has the latest.
Basically, he's saying I need congressional approval, and he's so wrong.
President Donald Trump on Tuesday reacting to a federal judge's ruling blocking him from moving forward with any more construction on a massive new ballroom on the former site of the White House East Wing. The judge wrote in part, quote, "The President of the United States is the steward of the White House for future generations of first families. He is not, however, the owner." The judge said without congressional authorization, quote, "construction has to stop." The lead architect says the ballroom project has an estimated size of roughly 89,000 square feet, dwarfing the 55,000 square foot primary White House structure. Trump says the ballroom is expected to cost between $300 million and $400 million, but doesn't need congressional approval because it's being funded by private donations.
This is taxpayer-free. We have no taxpayer putting up 10 cents.
But opponents say the private financing is part of the problem.
Some of our nation's largest corporations greased this operation.
And while President Trump says he doesn't need congressional approval, those who disagree say Congress should have done something earlier to oppose the project.
Congress knew that some of this could have been unlawful, could have demanded, you have to ask us first if you're going to spend taxpayer money on this or any money on this.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Well, good Wednesday morning there, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live view from our Snoopy's Piers Skycam thanks to Matthew CCAC. We're waking up pretty warm this morning, 73 degrees on the board. Winds out of the southeast 10 to 15 miles an hour, and luckily not any fog out there right now. Still some of those reduced visibilities, though. You can definitely notice the moisture in our atmosphere looking at those lights out there. As we're waking up this morning, all of us waking up to the 70s except for Freer, just waking up to 69 degrees in northern Duval County. The rest of us 73 in Mathis right now, 73 for Robstown and Ingleside, 74 your temperature in Alice, Kingsville as well to the north there in Rockport, so not a ton of variation across the Coastal Bend this morning. And as we go through the rest of our Wednesday, we're going to be on the warm-up. Should still be in those lower 70s for the 7 a.m. drop-off. By that 3 p.m. pickup, as we're checking out the school day forecast, should be back up towards 86 degrees with a decent breeze out there out of the southeast, 20 to 25 miles an hour, calling that daytime high around 87 degrees here in Corpus Christi today. As we're walking through on the future tracker, you can see how we're waking up to a decent dose of cloud cover overhead. Models even want to indicate 1 or 2 quick pop-up showers, but I'd say you're probably going to stay dry as we're heading through today. Heading into the afternoon, like we talked about, should see more of that clearing. A few 90s out west towards Duval County. About 87 here in town is what we're calling, and just about that 80-degree mark for areas towards the coast. And as we head into the overnight hours, still another day of doing it all again, where we wake up to more of that cloud cover tomorrow morning, but keeping your eyes off towards the north of the screen, you can see where the storms are making their return to the Lone Star State. Just with that next cold front working in tomorrow, not quite going to make it to us here in Corpus Christi. So that's the rain chance we were watching earlier this week, and wants to pick up just still some of those light showers potentially tomorrow morning, but more likely than not, we're still going to be staying dry tomorrow, and the better rain chance is going to roll in as we're heading into the weekend. As we head into Saturday night and Sunday, that's where we're expecting the next cold front to make its return to the Lone Star State, and that one does look like it'll make it to Corpus Christi. As that rolls through, it should have a line of showers and thunderstorms along it by Saturday night. overnight, and as it rolls through Sunday, should slow down just to the south of us, and that's going to kick up some frontal overrunning, more of that light shower activity, and kind of a dreary Easter Sunday as we're heading into it. One other thing going on as we're heading into tonight, we do have the full pink moon that's going to be going on tonight. That gets its name from the pink wildflowers that are in bloom about this time of year. Of course, it is not a super moon as we're going out there and won't have too much of that pink glow. It just gets that name from the wildflowers, but nonetheless going to reach that maximum visibility peakness at about 9:12 p.m. tonight, going and rising at 7:42 p.m. I should say, but reaching that peak maximal at about 9:12 p.m. As we're going through the overnight lows, we see that cold front making its return heading into the weekend. That's going to give us a decent drop in those temperatures, not only for the overnight lows, but for our daytime highs also. 87 Saturday, down to 69 degrees as we're heading into Sunday, and then we're kicking off next week pretty cool in the lower 70s with just a few morning showers and Monday morning.
A new event is coming up to lend a hand to Coastal Bend veterans. We'll tell you how to get help with your benefits and claims next.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm. Car wreck? Heil will help.
Well, a first-of-its-kind event for Coastal Bend veterans is coming up this month. It's called the Coastal Bend Joint County Veterans Claims Summit and Resource Fair. Nueces County is teaming up with neighboring counties to host the one-stop fair. Veterans can get help applying for compensation and survivor benefits. They can also learn how to appeal denials. Experts will also help veterans apply for non-service related pensions.
The average wait time for the veteran or dependent right now is about a month and a half in order to go see their county VSO. And so we're trying to minimize that, right? Get you the help that you need right then and there. That's why we wanted to come together, join forces. We're going to have 12 county VSOs coming in and just do claims all day that day so that you don't have to wait. You walk in, you take care of your claim or your appeal that day, and you're all set.
The event will be held at the Borchard Fairgrounds on Friday, April 24th, and it'll run from 9:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon. No appointment is necessary.
Well, good Wednesday morning there, Coastal Bend, taking a live view from our SPID Skycam. Still not tracking any major slowdowns, luckily, this Wednesday morning, but a few more cars picking up on SPID so far. We do have some fair warm temperatures out there. 73 degrees in Port Aransas, 72 what you're waking up to in Alice so far, and the same over there in Hebbronville right now. Winds out of the southeast 10 to 15 miles an hour for most of us, and luckily that's keeping the visibilities nice and high this Wednesday morning. As we're rolling into Wednesday afternoon, though, that's where we're going to see those winds picking up once again. Out of the southeast, about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Temperature-wise, we're up to 85 already by 1 p.m. Calling 87 for our daytime high here in Corpus Christi, at least over by CCIA, and even a few 90s for areas towards Duval County. As you're getting ready to head out for your Wednesday morning commute, though, no issues right now on the Harbor Bridge if you're heading to or from Portland. Along our major roadways in Corpus Christi, also looking pretty good. Just a minor slowdown on Saratoga next to Airline Road, and maybe a minor slowdown on Ocean Drive coming up towards downtown, but other than that, a good and green Wednesday morning. I'll have more details about the rain chances on the way for Easter Sunday coming up in just a few minutes.
This morning on the third hour of today, the final countdown to liftoff. I'm live from Florida ahead of NASA's long-awaited moon mission, Artemis 2. Then, our spring allergy survival guide to avoid all the sneezing this season. And a delicious lamb dish that's not bad. That's today, this morning, on the third hour of today.
Well, howdy and happy Wednesday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live view from our studio Skycam, you can see downtown Corpus Christi in view and the Harbor Bridge over there, nice and lit up purple for the month of the military child, of course, as we're kicking off April today. Temperatures waking up to 73 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Winds out of the southeast about 10 to 15 miles an hour, and that's around for most of us this morning. Winds out of the southeast about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Most of us waking up to the 70s, but there is a couple 60s still on the board. Cotulla and Freer both hanging on to 69 degrees. San Diego sitting at that 73 degree mark, along with Hebbronville, Falfurrias, Corpus Christi, the Naval Air Station, a pretty popular number this morning. Also 74 though in Rockport, Ingleside, even down into Kingsville this morning, waking up to 74 so far. As we're checking out our dog walking forecast today, we've got Lily Dreyer on the board here today, right here from Nueces County, and says she doesn't mind where she goes on a walk, just about anywhere she can, and those temperatures this morning going to be good for it. A 78 degrees what we're up to by that 10 a.m. hour, up to 85 already as we're heading in towards 1 p.m. One more thing we'll notice definitely into the afternoon, those gusty winds once again. Closer to 10 to 15 miles an hour right now, about 20 to 25 miles an hour as we're heading into the afternoon, but those gusts likely to push 30 to 35 miles an hour at times for that evening commute home, so something you're likely going to notice later today. Forecast highs, maybe those upper 70s along the coast towards Port Aransas, 80 degrees on the money for the Naval Air Station. Corpus Christi, I'm calling 87 from CCIA, but as you work your way west, similar to the last few days where relative humidity is a little drier, George West on through Hebronville and even Falfurrias chasing those lower 90s for your daytime high. As we're walking through the future tracker, here's what we can expect in terms of sky coverage. A good cloudy morning with potentially 1 or 2 light showers. I'm betting that you're going to be staying dry though as we're heading out this Wednesday morning. More of that clearing as we're heading into the afternoon with the warming temperatures like we talked about, and then do it all again as we're heading into the overnight hours. But there is one difference as we're heading into tomorrow. With your eyes off towards the north of the screen, you can see some of those storms up there. That's actually with a cold front that's on the way tomorrow. Just isn't going to quite make its way into the Corpus Christi coastal bend area. But the one that is on the way by this weekend, that one's looking a little bit more promising. So let's take a trip upstairs in the atmosphere. We're watching off towards the Pacific Northwest. You see that next upper level trough getting ready to work in towards the central United States, and that's going to be responsible for that following cold front into Saturday and Sunday. And that one looks a lot much more promising to make it across the coastal bend, cooling us off into Sunday and next week and also kicking up those rain chances. That's where we've been holding on to the strongest rain chances all week as we go into Saturday night and Sunday morning. So for your Easter Sunday, looking like it could be a little dreary out there with some of those scattered showers around. So if you can, just try to be indoors for that egg hunt potentially. In terms of our rain totals, the estimates right now looking pretty good, an inch or even as high as 2 inches in areas towards Freer. This is a pretty high estimating model, but I think it gets the point across that we could definitely see at least a good 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch across most of our area and even into the watershed. But still all has to come to fruition. Make sure to check back for those updates into tomorrow and Friday. For our 7-day forecast right now, looking like that rinse and repeat pattern still through Friday and even into Saturday afternoon. By Saturday evenings where we see that cold front roll in with the scattered thunderstorms, leaving scattered showers in its wake for Easter Sunday, and then a cool start to next week in those lower 70s.
The average price for a gallon of gas now topping $4. I'm business and tech correspondent Maura Barrett. Coming up, how long these higher prices could last.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Hello, Chris 6 Sunrise team. I'm Lo Flores. And I'm Chris Garza here at Faders Barbershop in the heart of Corpus Christi. And we want to wish everyone a great morning.
All right, well, good morning right back to you, to our neighbors at Faders Barbershop. We hope you have a great day. If you want to send us a shout out, scan the QR code you see on your screen or head on over to our website, christv.com.
For the first time since 2022, the national average for a gallon of regular gas is above $4. That's already having a ripple effect on what you pay for everything from groceries and delivered goods to the cost of a dog walker. And with the war with Iran stretching on, experts say higher gas prices could be here to stay a while.
Gas prices continuing to jump. The new national average for a gallon crossing $4 on Tuesday.
This is starting to get into consumer mindset, an uncomfortable level.
Okay, everybody, come here. Molly Kenefick is paid to walk dogs, but just like millions of other workers, she depends on her car to get to her job.
We spend an hour picking the dogs up at their homes, an hour hiking, and then an hour driving around to drop them off at home again. So it's a lot of time in the car.
Now, she says the price of dog walking will be driven up due to soaring gas prices.
The rising gas prices have been brutal for dog walkers. We unfortunately have to raise prices, and a large part of that is gas prices.
The root of the problem, a month-long near standstill in the Strait of Hormuz, where about 20% of the world's oil supply normally passes through daily. Now, the Trump administration ramping up its rhetoric about reopening the strait.
To Iran, open it for business, or we have options, and we certainly do.
The U.S. released 45 million barrels of oil from its reserves earlier in March and is committed to releasing a total of 172 million barrels. But experts say that makes little difference.
It doesn't come even close to offsetting the loss of supply. So, in fact, prices could well go up.
That means $4 a gallon gas could be here to stay.
Gas prices likely continue going up until the strait is somewhat or partially or fully reopened.
Maura Barrett, Scripps News Group, Denver.
Well, howdy and happy Wednesday. Coastal Bend taking a look back at our Tuesday almanac data. You can see how we ended up above average, 86 degrees for that daytime high, 69 for the morning low yesterday. Compared to that record of 30 back in 1987, though, I don't think anybody's complaining about that low. In terms of the rainfall, we're up to 4.14 inches in terms of a rainfall deficit for the year, but luckily we've got some rain on the way. As we're kicking off our Wednesday morning and the first day of April, here's the live view from our Snoopy's Pier sky cam thanks to Matthews CCAC. We're waking up to 73 degrees on the board, winds out of the southeast about 10 to 15 miles an hour, and that's around for most of us this morning, keeping those visibilities nice and high. You can see temperature-wise, we're waking up to 70s across the board. 74 in Kingsville right now, as well as Rockport. 72 your temperature in Beeville and Hebronville right now, and visibilities, like we were talking about, still nice and high this morning. As we're going through the rest of our day, though, we're going to be back on the warm-up. 11 a.m. chasing 81 degrees, 85 what we're up to by that 1 to 2 p.m. hour, and daytime highs I'm calling about 87 here in Corpus Christi, but a breezy afternoon on the way. Winds out of the southeast 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusting 30 to 35 miles per hour. Now, we do have some rain on the way, luckily, by this weekend. There's going to be a cold front that approaches Saturday evening with a line of showers and thunderstorms along it, and then going into Easter Sunday, looks like we'll still hold on to some of those scattered showers around the area, so maybe make some indoor plans for the weekend. I'll break it down a little bit more coming up in our next full 7-day forecast.
Corpus Christi is facing a historic drought. We'll tell you how city leaders plan to handle water cutbacks for residents and big industry. And Orange Grove is facing a major threat to its only drinking water source. We will explain why the water quality is dropping and how city leaders are responding. And drivers, listen up. Every swipe at the gas pump is getting more expensive. Which credit cards can put money back in your wallet? We'll tell you next.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
And we thank you for joining us for our 20 minutes of nonstop news. I'm Drew Bishop. Corpus Christi city leaders are giving us a first look at potential water cutbacks. The city's projections say we could enter a level 1 water emergency as early as this May. That's next month, folks. During yesterday's workshop, leaders praised residents for reducing their water use, but council members asked tough questions about heavy industrial users. They pointed out that industry gets a drought exemption rate not offered to residents. City council is expected to vote on water surcharges in mid to late April. Now, we took your questions to the Chief Operating Officer of Corpus Christi Water. We asked Nick Wickelman about a potential level 1 water emergency, and we wanted to know when and how the city will make that declaration. Here's what he had to say.
We are currently modeling to see how the river is reacting with the additional flow from the western well field. Once we have a couple more weeks of data, we will revise the dashboard with this new information and present a new projected date of level 1 water emergency. I would say that's going to be mid-April timeframe.
Another question for Winkleman: how will the city enforce curtailment?
So the drought contingency plan does say that after any violation of the drought contingency plan, a person or organization, business could be cited, and after 2 citations that are found guilty, Corpus Christi Water would be authorized to terminate water service.
Now, Winkleman says Corpus Christi Water takes this very seriously. He says every case will be reviewed, and a judge must find a customer guilty of any violations.
I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Orange Grove. Almost 2 weeks ago, I told you how Orange Grove city leaders were worried about the city of Corpus Christi using the same water source as them. Now, those city leaders are seeing rapid changes in their local aquifer, including a drop in water levels and water quality. For Sierra Phillips, the water crisis hits close to home.
I go straight to survival mode since I have kids, and of course, hygiene. You need water to survive and live. And I mean, there's only so much bottled water in this world too.
This mom of four has lived in Orange Grove for decades and says she's worried.
That's hard to think about, especially like I'll just be washing dishes sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, should I be, scrubbing these dishes while there's water running or brushing our teeth?
City Manager Todd Wright says they've been watching this crisis unfold since last June.
So we want the public know, our residents know, that we have been monitoring conditions since as early as of June of last year, 2025.
Then in March, after the governor's emergency order sped up rural pumping permits, Orange Grove saw a dramatic drop.
On Thursday, March 19th, that following Monday, we recorded our largest drawdown event on the aquifer, where it dropped to 17 feet.
An aquifer is basically underground water storage. Think of it like a giant natural sponge beneath the ground. Now, Wright says water quality has reduced.
As of yesterday, we were sitting at 1,140. The TCEQ and EPA standards for drinking water is 1,200. So after 1,200, it's not safe for drinking water.
For 90 years, this community has relied on one aquifer. Now, they're exploring emergency options, including buying water from Alice and seeking state help while searching for long-term solutions. I reached out to Corpus Christi City Manager Peter Zanoni, who's been in talks with the hydrologist.
His first reaction is he doesn't see how it is possible because of distance, because of the flow of water in the aquifer, how our wells could be impacting his.
He says the hydrologist wants to see more data from Orange Grove. City leaders from Orange Grove and Corpus Christi are meeting on Wednesday to review data and prevent the city from running dry. In Orange Grove, I'm Melissa Trevino, Chris 6 News.
Well, thank you, Melissa. And of course, it's a lot of water coverage, but lucky for you, you can stay up to date on all of our running dry coverage. You'll find all of our water crisis stories on our website, christv.com, or just scan that QR code you see on your screen with your smartphone.
Brady Ballard is a general manager for the Corpus Christi Hooks. He explained to me that maintaining their field during current drought condition has been tough, but they have been making changes for a few seasons already. Ballard says the field they had before the 2025 season was an older hybrid that required more care. So with that tip-tough grass, it helps keep the field healthy. The team has professionals with the scientific know-how behind maintaining the field. Ballard says he has steady conversations with the city about their water use to stay in compliance, and he's been making those conversations for years. They even have turned off the irrigation system for the berms long before the 2025 season. So with the field well maintained, the Hooks are ready to start their season.
Well, good Wednesday morning there, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live view from our Snoopy's Pier Skycam thanks to Matthew CCAC. We're waking up to about 73 degrees on the board. Winds out of the southeast 10 to 15 miles an hour, but those are going to be on the increase as we head into the afternoon. Let's take a closer look at our temperatures with our Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network. Over in Flower Bluff, reading 74 degrees there at the Shell Weather Station and on Laguna Shores Road so far. 73 for Graham Road, and that's going to be the same on the south side at Garden Court and Taylor's Way Court so far. Working our way inland, we start to see just those similar temperatures really for the most part. Lake Corpus Christi coming in at 73 degrees from County Road 803, County Road 364 also reading that 73 degree mark. As we're getting ready for that school day forecast, those should still be holding on to the lower 70s this morning for the 7 a.m. drop-off. Back off towards 86 degrees as we head in towards 3 p.m. And then going to be a breezy afternoon, winds out of the southeast 20 to 25 miles per hour. In terms of our daytime highs, should hit about 87 here in Corpus Christi. A few 90s out west, though. 91 what you're chasing in Orange Grove, 93 for Hebbronville and Falfurrias later today. Over along the coast, just a little bit of a cool down, only 79 there in Aransas Pass and Port Aransas today. In terms of our sky coverage, we're waking up to a cloudy morning out there, a decent amount of cloud cover and maybe even 1 or 2 specks of green on the radar, but I'm thinking you're going to be staying dry as we're heading out this morning. We should see more of that clearing once again into the afternoon, warming us up, of course, with that sunshine, and then we get ready to do it again tonight with more of that cloud cover overnight and a few more showers off towards the north also as we head into tomorrow. That's due to that next cold front working into the Lone Star State. It's what we were watching for our rain chance tomorrow. Doesn't look like it's going to make it quite to the coastal bend as we're heading through the future tracker. In terms of our upper level pattern, though, that next system following the one we were just talking about is going to be this one towards the Pacific Northwest. As that upper level trough works into the United States, or the central United States, I should say, it'll be responsible for our next cold front that's going to work into the area by Saturday night. tonight into Sunday, it's going to cool us off, and it's also going to kick up those rain chances this weekend. Right now, sitting around 60 to 70% for us. And in terms of rainfall totals, they're also looking pretty promising, as high as an inch or maybe even 2 inches under some of the heaviest totals out there. Keep in mind, this is one of our more aggressive models, but nonetheless also looking like a decent dose of rain for the watershed, which would trickle into our reservoirs, hopefully. So going through the 7-day forecast, we still have a couple days to go, so make sure to be checking back for updates as we're rolling through it. These next few days, we're still in the rinse and repeat pattern, about 86 or 7 degrees with breezy afternoons through Friday. By Saturday evening, that line of showers and thunderstorms rolls in with the cold front, and we're down into the 60s by Sunday evening, on only going to be back up into those mid-70s as we're kicking off next week.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
The U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments today on birthright citizenship. The justices are looking at President Trump's executive order to end the practice. The Trump administration argues citizenship is not guaranteed for children born in the U.S. to undocumented migrants. Immigrants' rights attorneys say tens of thousands of children might not have a country to call home. The ACLU believes those children could be deported. President Trump also says the U.S. war with Iran could be over in 2 to 3 weeks. He says the conflict could end even sooner if a deal is reached. Speaking from the Oval Office Tuesday, the president said his main goal is complete. He says Iran will not have nuclear weapons, and he adds the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz is now up to other countries, saying they must secure the critical waterway themselves. The president is also targeting mail-in voting with a new executive order. He signed the measure Tuesday in the Oval Office, and the order calls for Homeland Security to create a list of verified U.S. citizens eligible to vote. The Postal Service would also add barcodes to ballot envelopes. It is already illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal elections. States currently have the broad authority to run elections. Trump is also asking Congress to pass a proof of citizenship requirement for voting. And NASA's Artemis II is set to launch today from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The historic mission will be the first crewed lunar flight in more than 50 years. NASA says engineers have been hard at work preparing flight hardware. They're also checking communication links and organizing a precise fueling sequence. All this work is to make sure astronauts make it around the moon. And major changes to SNAP benefits go into effect today in Texas. You can no longer use a Lone Star card to buy candy or sugary drinks. The restriction is part of a new state law passed last summer. Banned items now include gum, taffy, nuts, and raisins. The law also excludes sweetened drinks with more than 5 grams of sugar. And a local attorney is stepping up to help shelter animals find new homes. Corpus Christi Animal Care Services is partnering with J. Beretta Law today. And starting today, the firm will cover adoption fees for up to 40 dogs and cats each month. Sponsored pets will have a special mark on their kennel cards. Every adopted pet comes spayed or neutered, microchipped, and vaccinated. You can visit the shelter on Holly Road Monday through Saturday afternoons.
Well, good Wednesday morning there, Coastal Bend, taking a live view from our SPID Skycam. A few more cars picking up on that roadway, but luckily still not tracking any major slowdowns this morning. Temperature-wise, waking up to the 70s across the board. 71 what you're waking up to in Hebbronville, 72 for Alice, and then 73 degrees Port Aransas and Rockport so far. Winds out of the southeast about 5 to 10 miles an hour, and keeping those visibilities nice and high, luckily, this Wednesday morning. As we're going through the rest of our Wednesday, though, the afternoon going to be on the warm-up. 81 by 11 a.m., 85 what we're up to by 1 p.m., and a breezy afternoon nonetheless. Winds out of the southeast 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusting 30 to 35 miles per hour at times. As you're getting ready to head out for work today, though, here's how that traffic is flowing right now. No issues on the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, and the same goes for our major roadways here in Corpus Christi. Just a minor slowdown on Saratoga next to Airline Road. Other than that, a good and green Wednesday morning, but I'll have more details about the rain chances on the way this weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
Every swipe at the gas pump is painful right now, but which credit card you use to fill up can make a big difference between paying full price and getting some money back in your wallet.
I have a huge appreciation for cop cars, so I bought my own.
Colin Wayne loves his Ford Crown Victoria with its big V8 engine, but these gas prices are spoiling the fun.
It's up to $4.
He tries to save a few cents with every fill-up.
I use my Shell rewards here.
Dorian Spence, meantime, leans on grocery fuel points.
even, grocery prices going up. So it's a vicious cycle at this point.
To help offset rising prices, shop around for gas rewards. A simple switch could save 5 to 6%, like Wallet Hub's top pick, the Citi Custom Cash Card. Analyst Chip Lupo says users get 5% back in their top spending category.
So it's not just limited to gas, so you have the flexibility to use it for whatever you choose.
BP's credit card is the top pick for gas station card, with 15 to 30 cents off per gallon at BP and Amoco stations. Bankrate's Ted Rossman says he prefers a percentage discount over cents per gallon.
That's less and less valuable these days. What is really valuable is the percentage. Like if you can get 5% back on gas, that's meaningful.
When choosing a gas credit card, watch for spending caps, annual fees, and interest. And remember, rewards don't help if you carry a balance. Rossman says stack credit card rewards with loyalty programs whenever possible.
A lot of supermarket chains have grocery rewards that can give you money off at the gas station, so that might be a way to double dip.
Spence is willing to try anything to lower the cost of his fill-ups.
Almost $60 to fill up my tank. So, life is already hard, man. Yeah. Gas prices got to come down.
So shop a few gas cards so you don't waste your money. John Mattery, Scripps News Group.
Well, you know who doesn't have to worry about gas prices? The Maiden of Might. Warner Brothers and DC are giving fans a new look at the upcoming Supergirl movie. The studio just released a new trailer for the film. It shows Supergirl talking with Superman about finding her place in the world. She's forced into action when a villain poisons her beloved dog, who we saw in the most recent Superman movie. The trailer also gives fans a glimpse of Jason Momoa as the anti-hero, Lobo. Supergirl hits theaters across North America on June 26th. And, of course, always summer blockbusters, super important. Steven, you going to catch this one, or what do you think?
I think I'll probably have to, but definitely got to catch up. Still got to watch the series and everything. Are you all caught up in all your DC, I guess?
Not in the series. I can't say that. I did see James Gunn's Superman over the last summer, which was a great film, and they teased Supergirl. So I feel like I'm up to speed there. We saw the dog. He was a key point in that film, and it sounds like he's going to be a key point again. Maybe the Superdog, he'll make it into our dog walking forecast. I don't know.
Maybe so. We'll see if he's going to be around the coastal bend. But either way, might have to check out that movie, and it's looking like a great week of weather. We do have some rain finally back on the 7-day forecast, and a cool down also in store for the coastal bend. First, though, as we start off our first day of April, of course, I want to take a look at our April climate and what we typically expect from the month. Starting off for today, that average should be around 80 degrees for our daytime high, but as we roll through the month of April deeper into spring, should see those warming temperatures into the mid-80s by the end of the month, and overnight lows from the lower 60s towards those upper 60s. In terms of average rainfall, we would typically expect about 2 inches in terms for the average monthly rainfall in April, and also seeing that extra daylight about 45 minutes longer as we head towards the end of the month. We do have our first rain event on the way as we're heading into this weekend, so we'll see if we can't put a dent in the deficit out there. But as we're kicking off our Wednesday morning, here's a live view from our studio Skycam. You can see the Harbor Bridge and downtown both in view as that sun's getting ready to come up. 73 degrees as we're waking up for our Wednesday morning, and that's the story for most of us out there. 73 in Mathis, Robstown, even to the south in Falfurrias right now. 74 what you're waking up to for Alice and Kingsville. Along the coast, though, coming in also at that 73 degree mark. For our dog walking forecast today, we've got Lily on the board here, right here from Nueces County. As we go into the next few hours, we're going to be on the warm up across the area. 75 degrees by 9 a.m. up to 81 as we head in towards that 11 a.m. hour, and 85 on the board by 1 p.m. One other thing we'll notice, though, those increasing winds, closer to 10 to 15 miles an hour this morning, upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour as we're heading into the afternoon. Now, in terms of our daytime highs, it's a little cooler along the coast later today. In those upper 70s there towards Rockport and Port Aransas, I'm calling 87 here in Corpus Christi for our daytime high. Out towards the west, though, similar to what we've been seeing all week, some of those lower 90s once again out towards Jim Wells and Duval County. As we're rolling through the future tracker, we have that cloud cover still around this morning, maybe even 1 or 2 light showers trying to develop, but I'd say you're more than likely going to be staying dry as we head through the morning hours. Towards the afternoon, back up into those 90s and upper 80s around the area, and going into the overnight hours, we get ready to do it all again. Some more of that cloud cover flowing back in, and looking towards the north of the screen, you can actually see some of those storms up there towards Bexar County and the I-35 corridor, but that's that next cold front working into the area. Doesn't look like it's going to quite make its way into the coastal bend. Not until we see that next upper level system working in by the weekend, Saturday into Sunday for the central United States. That's where we do see a cold front that makes its return to the area. So we're going to have some cooling temperatures and an increase in rain from Saturday to Sunday. Saturday night, expecting that line of showers and thunderstorms. For your Easter Sunday, looking a little bit more dreary with plenty of cloud cover and some light scattered shower activity, even a few still around into Monday morning. But look at the cool down from the 80s down into the upper 60s and only the lower 70s next week, Drew. So going to be feeling a little bit more like March as we're heading into next week.
Absolutely. And, you know, we've had a really hot start to the year, so it'll be a welcome kind of breeze, a little cool down. Maybe bring out that jacket one last time before summer really kicks off, right?
Absolutely, before it gets stored away in the closet. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that'll do it for us this morning on Sunrise. We'll see you back here for more Chris 6 News at noon.